Today has pretty much been another lazy day sitting in front of the computer watching Netflix all day long kind of a day again because it was cold and it got snowed again. I did go out for a walk, but I didn't really do a whole lot today. So I figured today's video would be something I still get asked about once in a while, not frequently, but every once in a while someone will still ask me. So I figured today we would just do a what's on my iPhone 6 video. Cool beans. So without further ado, let's switch the camera around and do it. Alright, so here we have my iPhone 6. Let me adjust the zoom here a little bit. Here we have my iPhone 6 in silver. This is the 16 gigabyte SIM-free unlocked version of the iPhone 6, which is basically the same as you would get on AT&T in the US or here on Rogers or TELUS or Bell in Canada. The same bands that you would use on AT&T in the US, the 850, 900, 1800, and 1900 megahertz LTE bands, 4G bands, that version of iPhone 6. I'm sure most of you guys probably already know that that's what I have, but just to reiterate, there you go. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I have on my iPhone 6. I have only 2 pages of apps. I try and keep everything that I want to use regularly on one screen. I'm not one of these guys that likes to have 7 pages of apps. Almost everything I use everything I do use on a daily basis is on the first page. And then I have some games on the second page, and that's pretty much it. So starting off, we have messages, which I use frequently and often. So they are right up front, top and center. Here in Notification Center, I also have the launcher app. You can download this from the App Store. Larry Greenberg was tweeting about this last week, and I downloaded it and installed it, and it's fantastic. It shows you you can customize all these things that show up in your Notification Center too as well, and you can jump straight into apps from Notification Center. Here, I'll just show you. You can jump from there straight into your Twitter, for example. I'm using Tweetbot for that. So there you go. And then, of course, we have calendar and photos and camera. All of those I use on a daily basis. Reminders I also use on a daily basis. I have a couple of reminders set to remind me to take my medication, as well as a few other things. And clock I use frequently for stopwatch features. Since Fiora and I are recording videos, I will often use the clock as a stopwatch and have that running while Fiora and I are recording videos. So there you go, we got that there. Notes I use really often. I have a regular grocery list here of things that I keep. All of my notes are made on my iPhone. I tend to carry my iPhone with me everywhere I go, all the time. It's the best place to make notes for things I need to or want to remember. So there you go. Then we got Google Maps because Apple Maps sucks. So we use Google Maps. Then we got the App Store and the iTunes Store. I don't purchase a lot of stuff from the iTunes Store, but I like to check out what's new every week and so on and so forth. So I keep it on my phone up front and center for that purpose. The App Store, well, it's the App Store. Of course, it's on my main page. Calculator I use frequently as well. Then we jump into settings. And then from there, we get into the useless Apple folder. Now, these are all the standard apps that come installed with iOS 8 that I never use. For example, Find My iPhone is in there. It is enabled on my phone. Find My iPhone is turned on in the event that I use it. But how often do you really use it? You don't need it on the main screen all the time. So it's sitting there in the useless Apple folder. And then you have things like Passbook and Game Center and the weather widget app thing that they come pre-installed with, and the compass and the stocks app and stuff like that. Stuff we never use. That's all in the useless Apple folder. Here in the financial folder, we have all of my financial stuff. eBay, PayPal, TD Canada Trust, my banking app, TELUS, my account app, so that I can keep track of my TELUS bill and pay my bill and so on and so forth. The Apple Store, AdSense, so I can keep track of my Google AdSense as well. And TELUS Network Experience. Whenever TELUS wants to announce updates or network changes or so on and so forth, they'll do it through that app. So that gives me notifications when TELUS may change something or the network gets an update or something like that. That's kind of cool. And then from there we go into the entertainment app where I keep Flixster. And Flixster, I used to have IMDb in here too, but I got rid of it. I was thinking about putting it back, but you know, who knows? I might not. We'll see how it goes. Blackburn Radio is my local radio station network in the event that there's a power outage, or if I want to listen to the local radio or something, I can use the Blackburn Radio app and stream it on the internet, which is pretty cool. I can listen to the radio live using the Blackburn Radio app. And then we have Speed Test, Map My Ride, which I use when I go riding, to map all my rides when I go cycling. Not always, but often I will use it. And then we have a QR reader and the Play Memories app for the Samsung camera, or not Samsung, for the Sony cameras that I'm using. The A5000 that I'm recording with this video with right now, as well as the WX350, both of them can be controlled via the Play Memories app, as well as transfer pictures from the camera directly to your phone using the app as well. And then we have Run 5K, which I keep telling myself I'm going to start using that app and start doing that again. Haven't actually got around to it yet, but I keep telling myself I'm gonna. So, you know, the intention's there. I just haven't really gotten to it yet. And then we have the Weather Network app from here in Canada. As you can see, I told you it's cold. Right now it's currently -9. Feels like -15. That's in Celsius. So it's quite chilly. It's also snowing. Doesn't say that right now. It says a few clouds, but if you can look over the overnight, it does say, okay, now it says clear. It said flurries earlier. Honest. Really, it did. And then we have Tweetbot for my Twitter, which you guys have already seen. Tweetbot's getting a little bit boring now. But it is the best Twitter app on iOS. So there you go. Then we have the Health app, which I used to use frequently to keep track of my daily steps and so on and so forth. I just thought it was fun. You know, keep track of my daily steps and stuff. But ever since I've updated to iOS 8.2, my battery life hasn't been anywhere nearly as good as it was on 8.1. I have no idea why. So I turned it off because it seemed to help battery life by turning off the health kit. So there you go. That seemed to have helped battery life. But as you can see before, I did a lot of walking. Then we have Adobe Creative Cloud and FaceTime and Unblock Me, which is like pretty much one of my favorite block game playing puzzle games, you know. As you can see, I'm on puzzle 571. It's one of those block games where you move the tiles around and get the red one out the side there, pretty much. It's pretty fun. I like those block game playing puzzle games. Down in my dock, I have all the standard icons down in my dock. Phone, mail, Safari, and the music app. All of those, again, I use every single day, pretty much. So I leave them in the dock. I wish you could put 5 icons in the dock, though, because part of the appeal of the larger screen for me of the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, I'd really like to have 5 rows of icons instead of just 4. It seems like a waste of screen space to me, as well as these folders. You got a huge big screen and you can only fit 9 things in one folder that you can view on one page, which is ridiculous. I mean, I don't have more than 9 in any except the useless Apple folder. But still, you should be able to fit more than 9, you know, at least 12 to 15 icons in a folder on a screen size this big. But you can't. I'd say it's one of the weird things about iOS 8 that bugs me. But there you go. And then on the second page, we have Clouds versus Sheep, which Fiora plays a lot. Sims 3 World Adventures, LPS, which I assure you is Fiora. I'm not playing LPS on my phone. Honest, I'm not. And then we have Not, which is another game I enjoy playing. Flappy Bird and 8-Ball Pool. I also have 8-Ball Pool installed on my iPad. My iPad Mini 2 with Retina display. I enjoy playing it on the iPad more than I do my iPhone. But I have it installed on both. So there you go. Cool beans. That is pretty much what is on my iPhone. And as far as music goes, I have a lot. Not a ton of music, but a fair chunk of music. Don't play. That's copyright violation, you crazy person. I have, what does that say? 512 songs on my phone. I don't keep a ton of music on my phone. Like I said, it's a 16 gig phone. So, I don't keep a ton on here, but I do keep some. And it's not really all that difficult to plug my phone into the computer to change music once every few weeks or a month or whenever I feel like doing it. It's really not that difficult. So, cool beans. So that's pretty much going to do it for today's video. That's what's on my iPhone 6. Pretty simple and pretty basic setup, and it's remained largely unchanged for a while. I forgot to mention the podcasts app. I went through a phase a while ago where I was addicted to podcasts. And I was listening to a whole bunch of different podcasts, which is right here. I haven't really been listening to podcasts lately, but maybe I'll get back into it. When I go back to work and I'm listening to normally in the morning I will either listen to a podcast at work or music for 2 to 3 hours while I'm working before we're open, because I go in at 9 and we open at 11. So I got 2.5 hours, from the time I leave work leave home for work till the time we're open. So I will often listen to music. It's when I used to do a lot of my headphone reviews too, listening to music to review headphones. That's pretty much when I did that too. Cool beans. So thanks for watching, and that's going to do it for what's on Tone's iPhone 6. And we will see you in tomorrow's video. Or we'll see you tomorrow. Something like that. Cool beans. Thanks for watching. Rock on.